Starting a business on eBay is very exciting. But then again, there is the business part of the eBay itself, and it comes down to fees. And there is money that you have to pay. Although the listing is free for the first 50 listings, you do have to pay money every single time you list above the 50 free listings, and when you have to pay the final value fee. Included, the other fee that you have to pay is anything that you want to upgrade. So let's say, for example, you want to upgrade your listing to the next level to give them more attention. For that, you have to pay another kind of fee. So let's go into this. Let me show you what kind of generally fees that you have to pay on eBay and how you can calculate the amount of money you might have to pay eBay in advance. So before you start a listing, I highly recommend for you to do this. So the first thing, let's for example sell something that is antique. You're pressing antique, you're selecting the antiques category, and then we're selecting any of those. Now it's not really important which subcategory that you'll be selecting, because only the real category, the first one, is the one that's going to count when it comes to the different fees that you have to pay for the listing itself. Now there is different kind of prices that you can start the listing. You can either start the listing itself as an auction, or you can start it at a fixed price. An auction is a lot of times a little bit better. And the reason for that is very simple. If you start an auction for 99 bucks and somebody starts to bid it up, it might go all the way to, let's say for example, this listing we started at 99 and then people bid it up all the way to 288. Then let's take a look at how many fees that we have to pay if this item did sell for 298 bucks. And for example, the final value fee would be 29 bucks. On the other hand, if you do a fixed price listing, it generally goes exactly the same amount, but there is a little bit difference here. So the fee is going to be the same, but here is one problem. Because it's a fixed price listing, there is no auction. Somebody can go in there, they buy it right now, they snatch it for whatever price you posted in. But the only problem with this is very simple. If they buy it at this price, it could be that you listed at the wrong price. So let's say for example you listed it at 99 bucks and somebody buys it right away. Now of course your fees are only going to be 9 bucks, but your profit is going to be so much less because it could have went up all the way to 299. So you might say, why should you actually price the item itself in a fixed price? Well, on an auction I can get so much better price. And here is the reason for that. So for example, if you put something at 99 bucks, there is no telling what price it's gonna end. And on the other hand, if you want to sell it 298 and you think that's the price that it should go for, this is something you'll estimate. You don't know if it's going to get to that level, but what thing that you do know is that if you start your auction at 298, it's not that likely that somebody is going to snatch it for that amount. And at the same time, it's going to take you a whole week to wait until somebody actually buys it. And people are impatient. They might not want to wait a whole week and they might pass it over, especially if it's going to be an auction. Versus in a fixed price, they have to get it now at this price or the item will be gone, especially if it's one of a kind item. So that's the benefits of you actually choosing between the fixed price and an auction style. So you do have to experiment to find out which one works for you. And in terms of the fees, let's go back into the fees themselves. There is all kinds of listing upgrades that you can use, such as Gallery Plus, which makes the item looks much larger. Listing Designer makes the item look a little bit more unique and different. So you choose different templates for the item itself and it might work a little bit better. There's the subtitle, or you can add an additional subtitle to the menu and it actually does work a little bit better. Plus there's the bold option where your listing itself stands out. Those are some of the things I highly recommend for you to try, especially if the listing is of a high value item. A high value item means like $100 or more. Generally, I like to do this for an item that cost me around $300, $500. The higher priced item, the more I want it to stand out, the more attention I want this item to actually get, because this is going to give me a lot more profit. And you can even do an international site visibility if you do want to sell it internationally.